All right, welcome back to maybe it's gonna be episode 6, maybe it's just gonna be a little intermediate thing, I'm not really sure yet. But yeah, it's the SpaceBlock playthrough, if you haven't noticed. And you're probably gonna see, well, I haven't played on like 100 hours and suddenly have beacons and speed modules and all that. But of course, I'm on my test map because, wait, I'm gonna hide the minimap here just for sensationalism. Yeah, I've been designing a train grid, or not even a train grid really, but a basic base layout. And I thought it might be interesting to like walk you through the different steps that I took in this process. Yeah, so this is just my basic landfilled area where I just test some builds here. And then the first thing I thought was, okay, I'm gonna have some kind of chunk aligned grid, which is what these squares are for. So if I turn on the tile grid here, you can see these are all just showing me where the chunks are, because in this space background you can't really see the tile grid, unfortunately. Yeah, and I was playing around a little bit with like a snaky train setup and all different weird kinds of things that I discarded quickly, but I left them here just for, yeah, just to show them. Then the first real test design I made was a bot mining design here. You can probably see, wait, let me, 1 second, let me just automatically throw away all my iron ore. And then I can just empty this. And we can see the whole thing kicking off, I guess. I don't know. Well, this is some design I made late night, and I'm not really sure how well it's gonna work. Well, this is not gonna activate any bots, is it? Yeah, well, the idea is just it's bot mining. So there's 3 different Roboport networks in here, actually. I'm not really gonna talk about this a whole lot because I'm not gonna use this design. But yeah, this is just 151 trains coming in, because this is how the train grid worked out. And yeah, lots of mining, but as I said, I'm not gonna do this. What I'd like to point out here, and this is a general idea that I'm going to use, is I have a little rocket fuel plant here. So yeah, the plan is to just make a little bit of rocket fuel in every of these train cells, so that trains can just be refueled everywhere. But yeah, so the first general idea was, okay, I want to have something that's not just a square. And well, the very first idea was, hey, rectangles, but that's just 2 squares next to each other. Next thing was, hey, a rotated square. Yeah, so I tried this diamond shape, but I had this thought in mind, and I think I'm gonna just quickly outline it here, maybe. Yeah, the idea was, I want to have I want to have something like this as a basic shape, and this does have a reason. So I'm gonna do most of the mining or duplicating resource acquisition on site. So I'm gonna have, say I want to make purple signs. I'm gonna have a lot of mining up here, then I'm gonna have a little less intermediate processes here, and then I'm gonna have the final process here, and then a train station at the very bottom, which is gonna output it to the train grid. That's the general idea here. So I want to have this kind of triangular shape, because I'm gonna have a lot of mining, a medium amount of intermediate products, and then a small amount of final products, and then a station. That's the general design idea here. So yeah, with that in mind, I outlined this, which already seems very reasonable because I have a lot of room here. I didn't go for a full triangle because this is just going to give you sharp corners where you can't really build anything inside. And I do kind of like this shape here. So I think this is gonna be my general cell structure for designing stuff. And then you can see there's gonna be some kind of train grid on the bottom. And then it's just a question of how to tie things together. And yeah, this was my first idea. This is basically just one long rail here, and then these alternating triangle, well, I guess it's heptagon patterns. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so heptagons, but it's kind of, well, it's based on a triangle, I guess. Yeah, so this was my first idea for a train grid. And you can see, well, some of you maybe saw the little teaser post that I made on YouTube. Let me turn off the grid again. For this power plant here. They're not running at the moment, but this is a completely self-sustained, self-sufficient 1.1 gigawatt power plant, which I'm only going to have to feed a little oil and, oil and iron ore and uranium ore as a starter thing to kickstart this whole process. I will get into how this works in more detail, but yeah, not right now. Oh crap, there's the train missing. No, did I mess up my blueprint? I think I did. I might have to set the train again. Yeah, that's annoying. Okay, never mind. I think I deleted my original design. No, it's still here. Okay. Yeah, never mind. So, back to what I was going to talk about. This was my first draft at a train grid, and I was almost ready to call this the finished design. And then I realized, okay, I have made two different shapes, or more, but I've made this shape, and I've made, let me see, this shape here, and I've also made this shape, which is the same but just a little larger. So this, if I turn on the tile grid again, this is 6 chunks wide and this is 8 chunks wide here. And yeah, then I thought, okay, is there a more interesting way that I can tie these together? After even designing all this train grid and signaling it, and I was almost at the stage where I wanted to test the train grid, and then I started outlining another grid and ended up with this design here. And yeah, there's no train grid there yet, but I think this is what I'm gonna go for, because this allows me to, well, I'm gonna have differently sized cells. I'm gonna have the 8 chunk wide grids here, or cells, and the 6 chunk wide cells, which means I can determine how much room I'm gonna need for a certain design, and then pick a larger or a smaller cell, which should be very handy. And I just really, really like the geometrical setup of this whole thing. So yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna go for. The yellow diamond things here are gonna be the power plants still. So I can just, let me see, where is it? Here. Just plop down one of these power plants. Maybe like this for symmetry's sake. Side note, landfill usually doesn't override concrete, right? This is kind of a weird thing that I just noticed. I can just place landfill on top of concrete and it actually uses landfill. I think this is some weird quirk of the mod, because usually, I'm not really sure, but I don't think you can just place landfill on top of concrete. That would be news to me, at least. Okay, never mind. So yeah, this is what the base is going to look like. I've already started making a little bit of a train, not a train grid here, but like a train, to plug these into the train grid, I guess. So the idea is to just have a small station on top, on the bottom here. As I said, have resource smelting here, and then make all the things here, and then output it on here. Same goes for the smaller things. But yeah, the plan would be to have a rail running through here. So I want to feed these out to the bottom. I'm Yeah, I might just start designing the train grid now and try to edit this together. I'm not really sure how well this is going to look because it's not going to be a usual building montage thing. Um, yeah, we'll see. I might just throw all of this away. I'm not really sure what's going to come out of it. But yeah, this is what the train grid will most certainly look like, except if you have some very valid points why I shouldn't be doing this. But I think I can make a very nice train system in here. As I said in the end of last episode, this doesn't probably have to be the most efficient and like throughput heavy train system there has ever been, simply because I'm not going to ship any ores or plates or anything like that. I think I haven't really decided, but I don't think I'm going to use trains for anything that's like below red circuits. I was originally thinking of just making completely self-contained science builds, but that's going to be a bit boring. So I think I am going to make intermediate products, but I'm not going to ship something like green circuits or plastic, but I'm going to make all of that on site and only start shipping like red circuits, rocketry things, blue circuits, sciences, like all the more high end materials. Okay, I think I'll just, as I said, just start designing the train grid here and see what comes out of it. Something like how I'm gonna do this, which is gonna make things a lot easier. I'm basically just gonna landfill this whole area, the whole black area here, and then I can have, I'm gonna just maybe show how I'm gonna do this. First, I'm gonna pick one of these and enable smart tile collision mode, which means I can just now, not paint bucket, but area, select all of this, all of that stuff. How much do I have here? Yeah, this should be fine, I guess. Okay, now this is all one specific background, and now what I can do is paint bucket and landfill all of this. And now all of this is landfilled. And then I can build rails on here. Oops. This is the nicest way to make a landfilled design. Just build stuff on here, whatever I want to build. And then go into this tile mode again, paint bucket, and use smart entity collision mode, but not tile collision mode. And use this. And then everything disappears except for the parts that you have landfilled. So this is, I'm going to design a train grid on here, make this whole trick that I just did, and then I'm going to have the landfill only underneath here, and I'm still going to have all these pockets untouched. That's why I gave them some concrete founding here. And so as I said, that's going to be the plan. I might, in my normal world, there's no way of getting rid of landfill. And I'm probably gonna mess things up at some point. So I'm considering installing a mod that lets me deconstruct landfill or use this editor mode just if I make any stupid mistakes, because I'm definitely gonna come to the point where I say place this here instead of here, or this would be wrong. Here would be the right place, and I'm gonna place this here, or like some dumb mistake, and then I'm gonna have landfill where I don't want it. And I would like to have this look as nice and pristine as possible. But I'll see about that. I'm of course gonna try without tricking around, but if I see the need, I might do something like that. Okay, so as I said, I'm off designing the train grid, and maybe I'm gonna show some of this as a time-lapsed footage, but I'm not really sure how well this is gonna work. Otherwise, I'll maybe just show the finished design for once. Okay, here we go. I think this is what things are gonna look like. Yeah, it's definitely a bit unnecessarily convoluted and uh, weird, but I think it looks kind of nice and it's gonna work great. At least that's what I hope. I made a little test train just to make sure that all the stations are accessible and I haven't made any dumb mistakes with the signaling. I think I'm just gonna stick with 1-4 trains. That's kind of my standard. And yeah, the station designs are working out in this way. So yeah, I think that's gonna be the design for the base. And well, now the hard part is gonna be actually building this in the real SpaceBlock world, not the real world, luckily. But yeah, this is gonna take a lot of materials. I think first order of business will be to make a lot more landfill than I'm currently making, because well, one of these big cells uses 31,000 landfill, small one takes 20,000, and one of the diamonds for power takes 8,300. And yeah, so I think 30,000 is probably of the order of, well, I guess I've spent like maybe 50,000, 60,000 so far in my whole base. So yeah, this is gonna need a lot of landfill. And yeah, I think I'll just hop on over to the normal map real quick. I do want to start building this today, but yeah, I've made a few changes there and I'm just gonna go through them real quick. Okay, we're back in this mess. Yeah, a few things have changed. Namely, I've built this monstrosity, which is, well, it's basically the same as my old Space Matter factory, just like ×3 or something. Yeah, it's a lot of these bootstrapping things that just output random crap that gets put in here and recycled, and it seems to be working quite well. Well, I haven't done a lot of testing on this. I just wanted to crank out some Space Matter. Wait, what's going on here? Ah, I didn't connect it. Damn. Yeah, that's dumb. So I'm gonna want to have... I'm gonna be really lazy here and let the bots do it. Well, that's weird. I thought I connected it last night. But yeah, so this is the one thing that I made. Then I finally made a proper-ish steel production here. I mean, it's only one yellow belt of iron, but at least it's a dedicated full belt of iron going into steel. So that's an improvement. And yeah, it's going down here. I've expanded the mall a little bit to make all the rail things. Yeah, it's basically only rails and stations and trains and signals and all that stuff, because I'm gonna need that. Yeah, another thing I might want to start making sooner rather than later is all the nuclear power things. Well, I'm not sure really. I mean, I did make this very neat design. I'm really, as you may notice, I'm really proud of how this turned out, because I think it's, yeah, it just fits so perfectly on top of this block, and yeah, I really like this design. Nevertheless, I think it's not going to be of much use for a terribly long time, because, well, I did show the nuclear power plant. I'm going to come to that design maybe like next episode and go through it in more detail, how the whole fuel cell generation works there. It's, yeah, I'm not going to get into it now, but so yeah, I'm not sure. I think first order of business is making more landfill, and yeah, I've already made a little. I don't know what to call it here. I've expanded a little bit to the right, and I made a little thing here where I can basically start my grid. And just as an idea for how big things are going to be, yeah, this is one of these plugs for the big triangle. And this is the big triangle. You can see it's like half of my base, roughly. So I think this is gonna go like here and then here. But yeah, I'm gonna have to be careful. I think I'm gonna build one of these connectors first, so I actually know where things have to go, because I really don't want to misplace things here. This I'm gonna be very sad if if I mess this up. Or as I said, I might actually cheat and reverse things if I mess things up because I want this to look nice. Um, okay, I think, let me see, how much do I have? I think I'll, yeah, work a little bit on the landfill. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a new landfill build, maybe with a dedicated iron and copper input as well, because yeah, things are a lot easier now. I can just place more mining rows here, or like duplicating rows. I should have a few of these furnaces stockpiled. Yeah, so I'm probably just gonna make a new landfill production maybe here and try and crank out a whole lot of landfill. And I think I'm gonna build a little supply train. That's probably just gonna be manual, but that I can drive out here and then start a new Roboport grid here, because I don't really want these to be connected yet, at least. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna ship a load of landfill here. I might actually leave a bit more room between the two. I'm not really sure yet. But yeah, I think that's the plan. And yeah, for some reason my recording stops there. I'm not really sure what happened there, but unfortunately I lost the rest of the building time lapse. But yeah, this is what things look like. I'm not quite managing to really feed all of them, but yeah, this should in theory make a full belt of red science, full yellow belt that is, and half a belt of landfill. Yeah, so 7.5 landfill per second, which, as I said, I'm not quite reaching that because I'm not feeding in enough iron, but yeah, that's the capacity, and this should, like, as soon as my mall fills up, this should actually reach capacity. And why is this belt so full? It's a bit weird. Ah, well, I did route the other landfill from my original landfill factory here. Yeah, I wiggled this through here and connected it as well. And I'm loading this onto a little train. That's just gonna have the job of bringing a lot of landfill to the right here. And I think I'm ready to just, yeah, go somewhere. I'm gonna do the Wallace and Gromit type rail laying thing, if I can manage. Coal is so slow. I always use like nuclear fuel for testing, and this is just, they accelerate so much faster. So this seems really slow now. Okay. Do I want to go further? Nah, I think it's fine. I think I'm gonna have the left edge of the main base here. So yeah, I think this is gonna be a bit annoying because I can't really see far enough, even with radars. But yeah, first thing I'm gonna do is build a little radar here and maybe extend this a little more so I can have roboports and power and stuff on here. Well, crap. Good thing I did bring some landfill with me. Oh, this train did not fill up. Okay, I'm gonna send this back and wait until full cargo, and then I'm gonna send this. Wait. I'm gonna send it, and then I can give it a temporary stop here. Come on, go there. And just have this wait here until empty. Yeah, I could have just built a station, but that's gonna be fine for now. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna explore a bit more here. I already built a radar there, but the further out I can see, the better. And I think, well, the very annoying thing about building these diagonal landfill shapes here is gonna be, well, I'm not gonna do that by hand because I'm definitely going to mess things up. Crap. So I'm just gonna let robots do it, and it's gonna take a long time, but I don't really care. They can just build the first cell, and then I still have to figure out kind of the general well, the power grid and the roboport grid and all that. I might actually do that on the test map, I'm not sure. But I'm probably not, well, I'm probably going to do that in the background because I don't think it's going to be too interesting. It's just going to be figuring out some kind of symmetrical way of getting power in there, but yeah, I think I'm a bit nervous about starting this. I'm going to save. And then I think just give this a go and place this thing here, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna put it here. Come on, place. Why? Huh? Why isn't it placing? Ah, here we go. And then I'll just connect this up. So I can actually go there. And yeah, I'm gonna have my bots build this, so I think I'll time-lapse the rest, or like the initial building. Yeah, I'm just gonna make one cell in the north and one in the south for now. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today. Next next few episodes will be starting to fill this with life. But I think at the same time, I'm gonna continue building here a little bit. I want to make purple science so I can research Kovarex and beacons, and yeah, I'm gonna need a little bit of yellow and purple science just to get the necessary research done. And then I'm gonna probably expand all of this. I need to make a giant, and by giant I really mean giant, module factory. So I'm not gonna struggle for modules all the time. That's the usual bottleneck when you start building a mega base, because you can kind of squeeze enough building materials out of here, but making enough Mark III modules is not really possible from a small thing like this. So yeah, I think I'm gonna cut this out here. So thanks for watching, and maybe see you next time.